Uh, Hi, folks. Georgie again from AKISC community. So here with us today is Sreerag. He's a master's graduate in theoretical chemistry from India, and he has onboarded to University of Miami in doing his PhD thesis in theoretical chemistry. So it's again my first time interacting with one of our community member who is currently doing his PhD research from US. So let's get to know more about him, his journey so far, doing his right from maybe his bachelor's, his master's, and right now currently pursuing his PhD research as well. So, Sreerag, over to you. Maybe let's start off with that brief introduction, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
Hi guys, I am Sreerag. I am from Thrissur, Kerala, like state of South India, and I completed my bachelor's in chemistry from Calicut University in Kerala. So I wanted to continue my studies in a university. Like I would suggest you to actually, if you are planning to do a master's in India, I would suggest you to pursue a master's in university. If you are doing bachelor's in basic science, right? Like chemistry, biology, physics, and maths. Otherwise, you can actually join like any other colleges. But if you are like pursuing natural sciences, I would suggest university, probably a central university or like a state university or anything. That would be well. Anyway, like I completed my masters from Pondicherry University, uh, one of the central universities in India. So my specialization was in theoretical chemistry. So I actually wanted to continue my research in theoretical and computational chemistry. So like the thing is that like for masters, most of the people actually check the ranking of the universities. If you are like planning to do masters in abroad, most of the universities will prefer most of the people will prefer universities with good ranking and like good place and like good placement values and all that. But as far as I'm concerned, like for PhD, it's more like selecting a good guide and selecting a good project for you. Like even if you are applying for a like top 10 universities, it wouldn't matter, because like everything will depend on your interests and how you can actually provide the university and your research guide, how you can provide your resources. So like for me, it was actually selecting a project than a university. So I wanted to get a good project. It's not like a good project, the project which is interested to me, interesting to me, so that like I can work. So like for like a PhD is for like 4 years, 5 years minimum. So you will be working on a particular project for like 4 or 5 years. So if you are not interested in that particular project, it will be hard for you to continue the research, because you have to like have that interest or passion to continue a research program, because it's not a typical master's program or bachelor's program, like sitting in a classroom and completing a exam, and it's not like that. So it like finding out a problem and trying to solve it. So you have to like have the interest to continue a PhD program. So for me, it was actually selecting a particular project. So I got like multiple opportunities at that time in experimental chemistry. So normal chemistry. I have to specify what is theoretical chemistry is. So theoretical chemistry is one of the branches in chemistry which deals with the basic theory and computational simulations, and like we can actually apply theoretical chemistry and concepts of computational chemistry in every area of chemistry. So I particularly like interested in catalysis, which is actually reactions and production, synthesis, and all like in computational way. So I'll use computational resources to simulate the reaction condition, everything. So I wanted to do that. So I got like multiple opportunities in experimental chemistry at that time, but I was not interested in. So even it was like from like good universities, I wouldn't actually select those, because I was interested in theoretical chemistry and a particular branch of theoretical chemistry. So I was actually searching for multiple opportunities at that time, and at that time COVID hit, so I couldn't actually find a good project, and like nobody was selecting students from Asia, like particularly India at that time. So I couldn't actually find anything. So I joined Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore for a project, as a project associate, and I worked there for like 7, 8 months. After that, I got the PhD opportunities here in University of Miami, and I came here. So like my thought process was like searching for a good project and searching for a good research guide. So I was actually searching universities and departments and all for a professor who can actually like who is sharing like a research interest as me, and who can I like who I can depend on in my research like career, and like to continue my research in the particular area that I want to work in. So I was searching for like different universities, department, and different professors and contacting them, and like most of them was like it's not like most of them will reply you. Like if you contact them, most of them will like try to contact you and they'll reply you, and they'll say that like maybe they don't have funding now, you can apply for next year, or like they're, they don't have a like position to give you for this year, you can apply for next year or next after 6 months or everything. So anyway, like I got this position like when I wanted it, like it was a like correct timing after my project, and so I like got took it at that time and joined University of Miami. So I'm continuing my research in theoretical catalysis now. Yeah, that was my procedure because like my concern was a project, not the university. So I was actually searching for a good guide and project in different universities and different departments, and directly contacting them to get this opportunity. And like the work I did in IISc was helpful because I work with one of the like renowned theoreticians around the world in IISc. So uh, it was actually helpful to make a bridge between the like community in India and here in US. So actually that was helpful to get this position. So yeah, that's my journey from like bachelor's to my PhD.
Sure. So, so I've heard that you'll get either scholarships or grant in
Mhm.
doing this particular PhD research. It's a long journey, and you need to have some mode of earnings to carry out this particular research process. So can you please deep dive into that particular.
Okay, yeah. So like it's for like a PhD, the funding is different in different areas. Like it is different for like Europe, it is different for even UK, and it is different for US, it is different for Canada. So like in the case of UK and Canada, it's like we have to apply for the scholarship first, the funding opportunity first, and if we are eligible to get that, then we can join a university. It's more like we have to get a funding. Like university won't provide a funding opportunity for you, so you have to like find out a funding opportunity. It is like it's you can find like in UK you have president scholarship, like there are particular scholarships for you if you are from India. So there are like a scholarship given by Indian government or foreign government for you if you are Indian student. So you can actually find out those scholarships. Like most of the universities will give you like a brochure thing with the list of every scholarship that usually people will apply for in Canada and UK. I'm talking about Canada and UK. So we have to apply for that particular fellowship first. So the thing is that like the timing for the application for these fellowships and the timing for the application for the university are different. So you have to be careful of these timings, and you have to apply like which fellowship is like more apt to you. Like if you are a girl, you have like multiple opportunities than boys, so you have to be careful for that, like in the case of Canada and UK. And if you get the fellowship, if you are like eligible to get the scholarship, then you can actually apply to a university, and you have to give that paper that you say that you are eligible to get this scholarship. So then you can apply to a university in UK and Canada. Like it's two separate things in UK and Canada. In Europe, PhD is like a job. So it will be a contract for like 3 years or 4 years. So there will be a fixed salary, and they will take you in and they will give you their work. It's not like for PhD, like there are like two different kind of PhD procedure. One is like you have to give your input in your work. So everything will be done by you. So you will be having that freedom to like do whatever you want. So it will have like it has its own risks. So you have to give your inputs, you have to work hard for that. But the thing is that you have that freedom also. You can do whatever you want. But the other thing is, they will give you a project. You have to work on that. You don't have to give multiple inputs to that. Like, they will give you a procedure, they will give you a work, and you have to work in that, and you have to get the results. That's all. So there, the input from you will be very, very negligible. Everything will be given by them, whichever university you are working. So the advantage for that is it will be quicker. You can complete your PhD in 3.5 years if you are doing something like that, or 4 years. So in Europe, mostly it is like that. It will be a job. So they'll give you a job. You have to complete it in a fixed period. In that fixed period, you will be having a particular salary. Depends on the country that you are working in. So if you want a quick PhD, if you get a project that you are interested in, you can join there. It's kind of a degree program in Europe mostly, because you'll be doing a fixed work. You won't be doing anything else, but you can complete the PhD in quick session, quick time period in 3.5 or 4 years. Mostly in Europe, it's like that. So there, you will be having a fixed salary from the university or a funding agency. You don't have to worry about anything about the funding, because you will be having a fixed salary. In US, it's more like India. So you will be having 1 year of coursework, then you will be selecting a PhD guide, then you will be starting from the second year onwards for your research career. So in US, you have multiple funding options. So one is this external fellowship. There are fellowships like Fulbright. I think other fellowships given by Indian government also. Fulbright is given by, I think, Indian government. So anyway, there are multiple external scholarships that you can apply. If you have that, you can apply to any university. Otherwise, there are funding agencies in US, like US government and private companies, those things. So those projects you can apply either your professor has that funding and you can apply for that position, or you can externally apply into these funding options by searching. It's hard to get something like that if you are from another country. It's usually what people do is they come to US, they join for a PhD. After that, they'll apply for the funding. Then it's much easier to get.
But you mentioned that you won't get that PhD program.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming to that. There will be funding from the university itself, either from RA, which is research assistantship, or TA, which is teaching assistantship. So you will be having a fixed salary from these kind of things. I am doing TA, so I have to teach a group of students for a semester, and it's salary for the TA. I'll be getting salary for the TA as the funding. If your professor has funding for the research, or you get externally funded by some community, like a external agency or external company or a government, you can get RA position, which is research assistantship. Then if you get RA position, then you don't have to do TA. Otherwise, you have to do TA. It's mostly you will be funded in US. Mostly you will be funded by either RA or TA. It depends on your professor. If your professor has project funding and you are interested in that project, you can actually get the TA, get the RA. Otherwise, most of the universities will give you money by TA. So you will be teaching either in a lab or in a course, and as a salary, you'll be getting a fixed amount of money.
So you mentioned that if you are going from another country, you need that funding thing, and so you have got the confirmation for teaching assistantship right from India before you applied for that particular program, or how is that process? There is just a confusion.
So, the university, the particular university that you are applying in, they will give you the information beforehand. So they'll give you that this is the fixed amount of money that they'll be providing either by TA or by RA. That depends on your professor. Otherwise, you can find an external agency to get a program. If you have, the thing is that you can't do job if you're doing PhD. So you have to find out our external agency or a sponsorship or a fellowship or scholarship, anything. If you have that, you don't have to do TA.
Understood.
So otherwise university will be providing with that money.
Understood.
It will be like given in your in the website itself.
Right. So can you take us through maybe the regular day activity, or how is that research process going as a PhD researcher on a day-to-day level, or can you please take us through that?
Okay, so in US particularly, in the first year you won't be doing anything like serious for your research. You will be like mostly studying things and like understanding what is happening there and how you can approach your problem. So but the thing is that like I joined here in the middle of the semester, like in middle of the year. So usually people join here around August, September. So they'll be having first semester from like August to December, then second semester from January to May. Then from like next August they can start their PhD, like serious PhD work. But like my professor, like the professor that I contacted with, he was interested to take me in January. So I joined here in like second semester. So I have to complete that semester. I completed that semester in like last May, and I have to do the like first semester in the next semester. Anyway, so the procedure here is like in the first semester itself, you will be having like a seminar program from the professors, like what they're doing, like how they are going through their research projects, what problems they are tackling in their like research programs, and then you can choose a professor's lab after like hearing all these things. But I already chosen like before coming to here. So anyway, so if you choose our like lab, then you can start to like mingling with the fellow lab mates and professor in the first year. Then after 2 semesters, you can start the serious work. So it will be mostly like you will be learning things and you will be reading the publications and like the problems that they are actually working on in this first year period, and you won't be doing anything serious at that time. After that, you will be starting to work. So basically, the first there will be a period of there will be a bridge period, because like most of the things that people do in master's projects are not typical PhD things. They will be doing projects, but the thing is that like it's more difficult. Like in master's thesis, they will be given a problem and they will be like trying to solve it. But a PhD, you have to find your own problem to solve. So finding out a problem is really hard. It's not easy as you think, because like you have to like understand what is happening around the lab, and you have to understand what is happening around the world, because like thousands and thousands of people are doing the same thing as you are. They'll be doing the same thing. They'll be doing the same like procedure. They'll be doing the same synthetic method. They'll be using the same characterizations and everything in chemistry particularly. So you have to understand that like a lot of people are like pursuing the same way as you are. So like finding out a problem is kind of hard. So the first thing for a researcher is finding out a problem. Then understanding how to tackle that. So I am fortunate that like I had previous experience in theoretical chemistry, so that like I could actually start from the beginning itself. Like I know basic stuff, so I know like how to do certain problems, how to tackle certain problems, how to like understand these things, and like I had previous experiences, so that I could start actually from like my. So I have one more semester to complete coursework, but I started my work because I had previous like experience. So like it's really like a learning curve period. So maybe it'll take like 1 year, or maybe it'll take like 6 months. It depends on you. So you have to like, this is the like procedure. You have to understand the problem first, then you have to understand a way to tackle that problem, and it will be like there will be group meetings, discussions, and everything, so that like you can actually mingle with your fellow lab mates and your professor, research guides, and like if like other professors are doing similar works to you, then you can actually talk with them. That like with these conversations you can actually find out a pathway that you can go on for completing this project, or like completing the solving this problem or anything. Then you can do that job. And like it's not like you start a job and nobody will talk to you for that after completing the project. It's not like that. So there will be presentations and all, like in regular intervals. So you have to present your work, what you are doing, what you are planning to do, everything, so that there will be discussions continuously throughout your program. So it's not like you will be stuck somewhere and it's hard to complete. It's not like that. Like you will be having helps from everywhere. Everybody will be help you, like fellow lab mates and professors, and everybody will be helping you so that you can solve the problem and you can start the second problem. Like it's continuously taking a problem and solving it, and continuously like taking another one. It's not like it's like a process for like 5 years. You'll be having multiple problems. You'll be solving multiple problems. You'll be publishing multiple papers, and it will be like that.
Understood. Okay. So again, I'm moving to the next phase. So you are currently researching. It's your first year. I think you will have at least 3 to 4 years down the line in this particular process. Now, moving again down the line after 5 years or 4 years, what is the career path that you are seeing after this particular phase? What is the potential career path you would be having, whether you have to return back to India or you are planning to maybe have some opportunities there itself? Or again, if it's there, what are the different opportunities that we are currently having, or what you are seeing from the current PhD graduates?
So when I was doing my master's thesis, like I chose a path that like usually people don't choose theoretical chemistry. Otherwise, like it's boring kind of. It's a combination of maths, physics, and chemistry. So it's not like typical chemistry labs that you see in movies and all. So theoretical chemistry is boring if you are not interested in. So I was actually having issues because I was very interested in quantum mechanics and theoretical chemistry. But the thing is that like in India, the opportunities for like jobs for this particular area is not reliable itself. Like if you are a master chemistry master's graduate, you can get multiple jobs in India. Like there are like lots of jobs in industries and companies. Like because if there is an industry, there will be a job for a chemist. But for a theoretical chemist, it's hard because we don't have this experience and exposure with these instruments and chemical reactions and all, because we are like dealing with the basic theory of things. So I was having issues with this thing because like I wasn't sure that I would get a job. But anyway, my interest was in academics, so I wanted to be a professor. So I wasn't concerned about it. But here it's not like that. Like there are like multiple opportunities for theoretical chemistry because of this boom effect after COVID in like a medicinal chemistry industry. There are like lots and lots of opportunities for chemists and even for theoretical chemistry in the US. Like I'm not interested in working in a like company or less. I want to continue my research in like I will be doing after my PhD. I'll be doing a postdoc. I want to do a postdoc in abroad, possibly in US itself. After that, I want to come back to India and teach somewhere in India. That's like my interest.
Got it. Yeah. So maybe a final question for you. What would be the advice that you would be interested to give to future aspirants who has completed their masters in doing a PhD program? That's one question. I have one personal question just to know. So, is there a possibility like after completing your bachelor's, can we directly go to a PhD program? So
yeah,
these
I was
are the
actually
two questions.
Thinking about that. Yeah. So if you do a 4-year bachelor's, so the thing is that like PhD in US is a graduate program, so it's similar to masters in US, not in other countries. So if you are completing a 4-year bachelor's program from India, like a honors degree or something, you can actually directly apply for a PhD program. You don't have to do masters. But if you are doing a 3-year bachelor program, it's hard to get a PhD program. And like you are eligible, but they prefer 4-year students, like 4-year bachelor students. But like if you are like having good research background, if you are having a publication and all, you can actually apply after like 3-year bachelor's also. Like I have fellow lab mates who hasn't completed their masters, but the thing is that I would suggest to complete masters because PhD is all about specialization. So you will be doing like a very specific thing, not a random chemistry. So I would suggest to do a master's, and I would suggest to do a project itself. Like the project I did in IISc helped me a lot. It will give you more exposure. It will give you more understanding about the problem that the people are dealing with and everything. So even if you don't get a PhD right away after master's or after your bachelor's, you can continue to work on the specific area that you want to work on. Like lot of institutes in India, universities, IITs, ISERs, like and CSIR institutes, everybody is giving you opportunities as a project student with funding, so you can get the salary. So do that for 1 year, then you can, like, research is not a typical deal, as I said before. So a lot of students like don't understand the procedure of these, like, a hectic thing of this PhD program, so they'll like stop after 2 years and then drop the program. It's like it's a kind of experience that you have to experience. So if you are doing like a project program for 1 year, you will be getting that exposure of research. You'll be like dealing with the problems that are basic researchers are facing. So you can get into these problems and like what you have to do to like solve this problem, what you will be dealing with these in these like time. So I'll suggest that like I would suggest to do a master's and a project if you can, but it will take a long time. I know like there will be peer pressure, timing pressure. I had those things because like most of the people will be doing a job, so they'll be getting settled. But the thing is that if you are interested, I would suggest to do a project for 1 year, at least for 6 months after your master's. Then you get to know more about the problem that you are facing. Then you can apply. And the thing is that if you have more experience, you can get more opportunities. If you have a publication, then it's really like easy to get into a foreign university if you have that research background. So it's not like time wasting thing. You can get opportunities, you can get multiple exposure, you can get publications, and it's all good for you. But it's like it's as your interest. If you get an opportunity after bachelor's or after master's, yeah, go for it. I'm saying is like even if you are not getting something at that time, and I'll suggest that like you have to understand the interest that you have. Like a lot of students will go for any PhD that get. Oh, it's in US, I'll go for that. It's not like that. You have to understand. For PhD, you have to understand your interest. If you're not interested in that particular project, it will be really hard for you. Then you'll like dropping the program after 3 years. It's hard. It's not easy to like do PhD. I'm not saying that like because I'm doing a PhD. It's not like that. It's not easy. It's not like typical master's work. So you have to be interested in. So
it's a 4 to 5 years contribution. That's a major chunk of your life that you're contributing for one thing. So you should be highly passionate about that to dedicate that much of time. Understood. All right. So any final notes to those people who are really aspiring for anything on that, or maybe?
So if you have a particular area that you want to work on, I will suggest that like contact the professors in like top universities as you complete your masters. So like if you're completing masters in 2023 like March, start to contact the professors from like December of 2020. Like not from December, like most of the application will start on like October November period for the 2023 July August application, admission. So start contacting the professors if you have a particular aim, and they will give you directions, or they will give you like if you have a position, if they have open position, they will give you the directions to apply to the university and what you have to do for the application and everything. And like note down the universities that you want to work on, note down the professors that you want to work with, note down the projects that you are interested in, then apply for, like, contact the professors directly. That was my way. And other thing is that if you want to work in Europe
via LinkedIn, how is it, like via
directly mailing them, they'll be giving email and yeah with a CV. So you have to like give them the idea that like this is your life's work.
Right.
Just I want to work with you.
You're really
Otherwise,
passionate about this particular topic that you want to explore.
In US, it will be like easier way. It's not easy, but it comparatively it will be easier way. But in Europe, you have to like continuously check these websites. Like there are websites like Euraccess. It's a government website, European Union's website. They'll give you like opportunities for masters, PhD programs, postdoc programs, and everything. And there are like websites for DAD. It's a website for Germany. German universities will be giving like ads for PhD postdoc programs in that website. Then there is website like I think from Norway there is a website. So in Europe there are these multiple websites that you can, Glassdoor, then like find a PhD. There are like multiple websites that you can follow. And as I said before, like in Europe, PhD is like a job. So there will be this job advertisements like in like you can see in newspapers, and you have to follow that procedure to complete that to get that admission. It's not like a typical application program. In a certain time they'll start they'll open the application. It's not like that. In Europe, you can get a PhD at any time. So they'll give you this advertisement that you have to follow that ad. Then there will be an interview and you can follow. So if you are planning to do a PhD in Europe, like continuously like look into these websites. If you are planning to do a PhD in US, like try to contact these professors directly. It's the better way.
Understood. Okay, so thank you very much, Sreerag, for that very insightful information about your whole journey, as well as how a PhD researcher must be focused into moving his career forward in this particular direction. Thank you for your time. It was really valuable for our community members. Looking forward for more such sessions maybe down the line while you are completing your research. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.